All right, so in this video, we're going to go over the top 10 strategies that you can use to make high ticket sales online without having to use any kind of paid ads. Make sure to subscribe, check out what we have below, and let's get into it. So the first strategy to making sales online is very simple. It's going through the DMs. And we've all tried this before. Maybe it was DMing people that were within our niche or just random people that we saw online that may have worked for us. But there's a specific strategy that we can go about doing this that's not only going to be more effective, but it's going to also save you hours on end every single day, which is going to compound to be weeks and weeks and weeks of work that you're going to be able to get results from without having to put in the elbow grease day after day. Simply enough, that is creating the right target, then creating the right framework and script for these DMs, and then being able to automate it through systems like Drippy for X and HeyReach for LinkedIn. Being able to use those two tools for these socials has saved me hours and hours of time. I'll probably put it below in the description so you can check it out there if that's something that you're interested in. But definitely recommend first coming up with a targeted audience, then being able to script out what is that target audience looking for, what is their pain point, not what are you trying to sell them, what could you benefit from, but how could it benefit them? And then how are you able to then automate those processes so that the messages are hitting the right inboxes and they're doing it on a very consistent basis day after day. Now, of course, you don't want to overdo it on these platforms. LinkedIn, X, you don't want to have 50 DMs a day or 100 DMs a day. Otherwise, you're going to get blocked, tagged, shadow banned, you name it. So try to keep it between 20 to 30 is what I would recommend per day on a DM basis. Maybe take the weekends off. I mean, a lot of people think that they have to do it every single day, but maybe just not do it on Sunday. And if you're automating it through Drippy and HeyReach, you can simply put in your DM scripts on those platforms and then have it schedule out between specific timeframes for these messages to be sent within your lead list. So highly suggest if you're going to go through the DM process to be looking into those systems. Now, the biggest issue with those DMs is that sometimes they cannot be personalized. Sometimes there's not a lot of value given up front, and people just think to themselves, why would I work with you? Especially if you don't have enough case studies, testimonials, anything like that. And that's where a little thing and another strategy that I would call Dream 100 comes in. Now, before I kind of get into Dream 100, I want to really credit the Client Ascension team, a team that I personally work with that has given me this idea that I now use for my outreach. Definitely big credit to them. Definitely check them out. Dream 100 is really about coming up with 100 people that you would love to work with. Who would be the ideal clients that you can work with? And then how can we provide value to them to then show that we are someone to be worth talking to, how we're someone to get on the phone with, how can we provide that upfront value? So for me, when I'm working within clients to be able to build out their cold email infrastructure, I send them scripts. I send just different types of leads that would fit into their demographic. I build out the process and maybe the go-to-market strategy as well, and then send it to them. Then they're able to see my strategy. They're able to see the work up front, see that I know what I'm talking about, because that's really just the most important thing. And then be able from there to build up the relationship, get on the phone and see if we can find something that's going to make sense for both of us. So if you're a video editor, for example, maybe give them a script for a video that they can record. And if they record it, then you can edit it for them and then be able to post it, see how it performs. Then you can go into talking about doing video editing for them for a long time. Now, of course, you really want to get specific with these kind of Dream 100 reach outs. A client of mine who is a video editor actually did this kind of method where he was offering the scripts and offering this value up front and ended up being able to do a video for Pearl Davis, who has about 2 million subscribers on YouTube. So this is an effective method. It works. It takes time, but I think it's absolutely worth it for you to be able to present value upfront, especially if you're lacking in case studies. Now, another strategy that's incredibly beneficial, especially if you don't have a lot of case studies or testimonials as well, is guarantees. The whole idea of case studies, the whole idea of being able to prove who you are is the idea of risk reversal. Think of the psychology behind it. There are specific people that just don't want to work with you because of the fact that they don't see the proof yet. They don't feel that level of comfort, and there is more of a risk on their side to work with you than it is more of a risk on your side. So how can we balance out that equation? What we want to do is offer guarantees. Now, this could be performance-based. You will only pay me if I get this result. Refund-based, I guarantee this result or your money back, or until we get that result, which is I'll work with you for this much until we get you to that result. So there's many different ways to go about a guarantee. I personally recommend the pay per performance. You really want to just have your work incentivized, especially if you're not having 100 case studies and making millions of dollars for people. This is a good place to get started. This is a good place to just continue on, even when you're at 50K a month, 100K a month. I don't recommend really taking off the guarantee because it's all performance based. If you're doing your job right, then you should be getting paid a lot more. So you really just want to be able to back this information up with what value you can provide, and then how you'll provide it, and then how you'll mitigate the risk for your client. The fourth strategy that I really want to talk about is building video content, such as this kind of YouTube, repurposing it for X, for LinkedIn, being able to talk to people where they can see you and be able to build trust that way. A lot of people online have an inherent distrust because they just see profile pictures and text and they're not able to actually communicate with the person. The best way to do that is getting in front of a camera, talking, being able to explain your business, your process, some education and insight, just like this, where you're providing value up front and then being able to talk to people and see if it's the right thing for them to be able to take that next step into something that is something that you provide with your business. Really suggest video content. Psychologically speaking, when you hear me or you hear anyone else online, you're then reading their posts in their voice. And it's incredibly important for that to happen because it's a lot more personalization than most people out there. You can have DM conversations for 2 months back and forth, but if you talk to someone on the phone once, that is a closer relationship than them. So highly suggest video content and repurposing it throughout your socials, especially if you want to leverage inbound content from that perspective. The next strategy is an email list. It's so important to own your audience. You don't own your audience on X, on LinkedIn, even on YouTube. You need to own your audience, build out your email list, and then consistently message them. People that are going to fit within your demographic, and then be able to consistently sell to them. Not only are you telling stories about the journey that you're taking within your business, you're talking about the education that you've learned and things that you're just sharing about your process, but you're also just being able to pitch your services and people that may be able to fit in it at a specific time. Let's say someone finds you last month and they were not ready for your service, but they signed up for your newsletter. That's when you're actively able to continue to engage with them so that when they are ready and prepared to be able to buy from you, they're able to make that decision instead of just forgetting about you. Most people that you meet at the first time are not going to be willing to buy from you. So really emphasize having an email list to nurture those leads that may not just be ready yet. Next, this is an inbound kind of content strategy specifically for sales, but posting content. Just being able to get out there and post on X, YouTube, LinkedIn, just all kinds of posting is very important for inbound content. Now, the thing is, you're not going to make sales right away when you start posting online because you have to build reputation. You have to build trust. And this is the lowest cost of all the outreach systems, but it is the longest form. And it's going to take the longest to be able to bring in sales. You have to keep that in mind. It's a game of consistency. You're going to have to compound your results and the sales will come in from there, but it will take a longer time. The other effective methods, of course, we're not talking about paid ads here, but the most effective method for bringing in sales without paid ads is cold email. Being able to outreach with a specific targeted leads that you're able to scrape from different systems and be able to build out an email system to then send out about 10,000 emails a month pitching your services. It is pretty low cost, especially compared to ads, but it's a lot faster in results, a lot faster than content. So definitely recommend that, especially if you're starting out with a service-based business, especially B2B, you should be getting cold email infrastructure built today. It is incredibly important, and it is the easiest way to make sales and establish yourself as an authority, be able to build out case studies, be able to get results for clients, and scale your business. This is easily just the best way to be able to do it, especially today with how long it takes to build out content and how expensive it is to work with paid ads. So really recommend you do that. I'm going to have some information below when it comes to how to build out your cold email infrastructure. And this is personally what I do for businesses. So if you are a B2B company and you are above 25K a month looking for someone to run this process for you, I'll have a link below in the description that's going to go into detail on my website about how our process works and then how we can get you those results. The next strategy is something that we talked about a bit, but it is posting case studies. Of course, once you start getting results for these clients, you want to show that off as much as possible. You want to be able to show the work that you did with these people. What were their pain points? What did they struggle with before they came to you? How did you solve the strategy to be able to build out this solution? And then what was the solution? What did it look like? What results were given to them? How happy are they? Be able to go into detail about every single part of the process so people can see, oh, I'm in that exact situation and he was able to help out that person. That means he can help out me. It is a very comforting feeling. It lowers the risk for them. You could still have a guarantee, which I do recommend, but it does not make the guarantee as important because case studies is everything with your proof. Being able to show that you are doing what you're saying. Really try to leverage every single case study that you can, every single result that you've gotten for someone, be able to show it off. And pro tip, if you're showing it off in a video where you're interviewing the person or the client that you're working with, even better. So they're able to see you both, see the results as opposed to just posting online saying, I got this result for this person, because it's a lot more trustworthy to see it in action. Now, we talked a little bit about providing value up front earlier in this video, but I think what's most important is another version of it, which is the lead magnet asset, something that can be used as a giveaway for your X and your LinkedIn, where you're posting that you have maybe built out 15K this month and you were able to make that many sales. And if they want to learn your strategy, to comment and follow you. This is going to help the algorithm boost your post, be able to reach more people, have more people commenting, which are going to be leads for you for your business. Now, you can recreate these kinds of sales assets from YouTube videos. You can do it from just different results you've gotten clients, different things that you've done. Just be able to offer real value. It's incredibly important that the information that you're providing is very detailed and very good. Because if you're telling people to sign up for this giveaway and then they're just getting a one-page doc of pretty much nothing, you're losing credibility in that action. So make sure that you're posting giveaways, and those giveaways are going to be things that are high value that you're not afraid to be able to offer. The whole method behind what is going to be able to push you ahead of most people is to offer free stuff that's better than most paid people's stuff. So be able to do that. Don't be afraid to just give away some good sauce and just hand it out to people. Now, the last part I really want to get into is the Loom walkthrough. Well, a lot of people just want to talk about the value that they provide and things like that, but they don't want to show it specifically. When you go over a Loom video showing people exactly how the process works, what you do for them, exactly what step that they're at, and how you're going to get them to step C and the place that they want to be, their solution, their final result, this is going to do a ton for you. Being able to be super helpful, as well as very descriptive of what you do, how you do it, and how you're going to get them to their desired result. So I really recommend your call to action, especially within cold email, is a Loom video going over strategy instead of just trying to get people booked on calls. That is just not how you do it anymore, especially within cold email. Trying to get people booked on calls right away is a bad strategy decision. So what's the next step from here now that you have the top 10 ways of getting sales without paid ads? I would recommend just getting straight into cold email, building out that infrastructure as soon as you can. If you're an early on business, I have a school community where I'm able to teach you the exact step-by-step on how to do it. If you're a B2B business making around 20K a month and you want help having someone do it completely for you and handling everything from the initial first step all the way to getting on a sales call, I do that personally for you. You can check out the website description below. And for any other information that I talked about in this video, I'll leave it in the links below that you can check out. So feel free to ask any questions, and hope this video helps, and looking forward to talking to you guys soon.